Hello, and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So on the ETH chart, we're still watching potentially for a larger wave 4. It's likely going to follow Bitcoin in this attempt to form a larger wave 4. Yesterday, ETH got rejected at our trend line and again at the key resistance level, right? So ETH is respecting the levels. It is technically possible that all of this wave 4 is already done. After obviously the price pushed higher and actually formed a nice ABC structure and reached even the ideal target for a fourth wave, which is the 38.2 retracement. I mean, that's what we talked about. The thing is though that the microstructure I think did morph a little bit. But you can count an ABC structure to the upside. The reason why I'm still a bit hesitant to really confirm a top is that first of all, I'm watching for Bitcoin to go higher, and we're still holding above support. And the C wave that we're tracking here didn't quite reach the 100% extension, but it got really close. It reached the 78.6, and the C wave is a full wave count. Even though I have to say that this last high, was a little bit anemic, a little bit short. So I would have loved to see it push here once more higher. So it looks a bit incomplete, that white wave 4. Therefore, I added today, and I communicated that already to our gold members. So if you're interested in additional updates, check out the gold membership. You'll find a link in the video description. But that we might see, and it's already pulling away from that support area actually, that we might see here an extended fourth wave, given that Bitcoin also is expected to push a bit higher. But I talked about that in the Bitcoin video and Bitcoin updates. This support zone, which I've slightly adjusted for that update, is between 3,284 and 3,386. And how can Ether actually still extend if an ABC structure is complete? Well, after an ABC structure is complete, I mean, we have to consider the context. I'm not completely happy with that ABC structure for the reasons I mentioned. An ABC can always be part of a larger wave W, okay? And this could be an X wave down. It's in 3 waves, this decline at the moment. It's in 3 waves. Now, if I see a 5 wave decline, one more low, well, that might change things a little bit. But it looks like a 3 wave decline right now into support. And from here, a Y wave could technically start. And that would again be an ABC structure. Because in the WXY pattern, we're dealing with A, B, C structures in the sub waves. So that's what I'm watching for. It's obviously not entirely clear if that X wave has already bottomed, but somewhere in that area, we're watching for such a reaction. More important than the actual micro count are the fib levels. So if it moves down once more, I would still watch for support at or before breaking below 3,284. But if we break below 3,284, I will assume that fourth wave topped and we're coming down in the 5th wave that we're watching for anyway, either directly or after that larger wave 4. But for now, I don't know. Even though we can count that move up complete, it still has a good chance to move higher, especially because Bitcoin also gives us strong signals that it could, at least in the short term, form a larger wave 4. But it's all corrective structure stuff, right? So it's not great long trade setups. And the ETH chart is a little bit less clear, in my opinion, than the Bitcoin chart. But therefore, I give Bitcoin a bit of preference. First of all, Bitcoin is still the leader in the market. Ether still hasn't started to outperform Bitcoin. And Bitcoin allows for that interpretation. It's actually preferred to see a bit of a larger fourth wave, maybe over the weekend. So it's another wave 4 weekend. But we could see it push a little bit higher. So it's good to see a bit of movement today. I mean, it's pulling away from support a little bit because normally Saturdays are very boring. I mean, I'm not saying this is particularly interesting, but we see a little bit of movement. At the moment, I would still pay attention to that trend line. It could lead to another rejection. We have 3 touch points here, roughly, okay? Maybe even 4, depending on how you draw the trend line, okay? So it's a bit subjective with those trend lines, but the fibs are objective, and the price got rejected several times from that important 38.2 retracement. That's the update about Ether. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.